Exploration in this dancery, you got me open. Hey! Hey guys, it's Wama, but just call me Wa. Melanated! Well, welcome to another episode of 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. This is season 4, episode 8, and I don't know the title, but I do have notes. And I'm still in Tennessee. I'm in the hotel, and this episode comes on at such crazy times that I never know when it's going to actually happen. Apparently, in Central Time, these shows happen a lot, like happen at like 7 as opposed to 8 or 9. So I missed it, but I was able to catch it on demand with Spectrum TV, thanks to Chris Farah. Thank you to everybody who's joining the room right now. Tiana Harris is here. She's our moderator, doing the Lord's work. And everyone else, hello. So for this one, again, I'm going to do the same model where I come in and I just talk about the episode. I'm not going to be looking at the live chat, so you guys just talk amongst yourself. And then at the end, we will go into like a deep dive and we can talk about like go into things I missed or things that I didn't talk about, or we can expand on things. But first, let's talk about Colt and Larissa. Oh, and I have merch down below, so check that out if you're interested. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Okay, so we start off the beginning of their episode with Larissa wearing a cute dress, walking down the stairs, and when the producers ask her what's going on, she says she doesn't want to talk about it. And then Colty comes downstairs wearing an unflattering outfit, and he says that he's tired. He is over it. He is done with Larissa and having to just dole out the money and pay for everything, and he's over it. He can't pay all these things that she's expecting him to pay. So it turns out Larissa has gone and made a hair appointment, and she's told Colty how much it's going to cost for her to get her hair done. It's going to cost $240, and he's just angry at it. He says that, or he alludes to the fact that she just gives him bills or something and just tells him to pay it. I'm wondering if he's paying for like credit card debt. I wonder what of hers is he paying for? Because the truth is that he brought somebody to this country who can't work for at least a year and a half, or until she gets her green card. So, I mean, he kind of did sign up to be that. Also, here's my thing. He married Larissa because she was a hot Brazilian woman with a fat ass. And in order to keep that hot Brazilian woman with that fat ass and the lifestyle that she wants to lead, he's going to have to pay money. He's going to have to do those things. Now, do I think that he needs to give her Botox and lip injections and certain things? No. But do I think he needs to pay to get her hair done? Yes. Especially if he wants her to look as hot as she wants to look. I mean, if Larissa was the type of girl to go and buy some L'Oreal and do it herself, then okay. But he didn't buy that. He didn't get that. I said buy. He didn't get that. He didn't take her on a Mexico trip. He didn't fly her to the US. He didn't do all those things for a woman who wasn't going to want all the fancy stuff. And I think, to me, I could tell that she was that kind of woman. She was no Jimena. She was no Annie. She's a woman who does a lot of upkeep, and that upkeep costs money. She's not being a Barbie on a budget girl, especially coming to the U.S. with this man who said that he was a software technician or tech, whatever it was. So she thought he made a lot of money. Anyways, so we see Larissa scrounging around the house looking for $240, which I thought was so crazy. She's like looking through what looks like baskets of random nonsense. And I know that's all Debbie's doing. Probably like coupons and like discount paper. You have advertisements for like Save-Ons and stuff and like Walgreens, and you just like, they have coupons in them. So you put them in a little box on the bar table, just in case you go to Walgreens and you need your coupons. So she's searching around there looking for $240, girl, and she wasn't going to find it. So she's so pissed that she walks out of the house, and the camera crews are like, Larissa, what's going on? She's like, I don't want to talk about it. And then Colty comes downstairs, and he's like, I'm just tired of him. I'm tired of paying all this money. I'm tired of everything. I just can't do it. I'm tired of her. And he goes up the stairs, and we see a shot of his butt, and we're just disappointed. He doesn't look right in those jeans, and we want him to. So I also hate this narrative that Larissa is this wild, crazy cat. Like, she's this wild animal who he can't control, and it's like she's just screaming. I'm like, if someone is hollering and yelling and like doing stuff, you just can walk away. Like, Colt has a car, and he also has feet. So if Larissa's getting on his nerve with all her bitching and nagging, then get the fuck up and leave. I don't understand. What did I do with my water? Did I bring my water here? I had my water. Girl, she's parched already. It's only 4 minutes in. All right, I got to go find it at some point. All right, so yeah, I don't like that narrative because Debbie says it too. Like, Debbie is just Debbie tells her that she can't talk to her when she's acting this way, when literally all she's doing is standing next to the door by Colt and calling Debbie a territorialist. And Debbie's like, I can't talk to you when you're like this. I'm like, then what is she like right now? She looks kind of normal to me. I don't understand. Hi, Lynn J. Welcome. Okay. So then the next scene with them is Colty wearing his pajamas for some reason and sitting in like an Easy Boy that looks like it should be out in the forest with people who hunt ducks. I was like, the slot machine needs to go, and so does that chair. Why is that even in the house? Did Larissa sign off on this? He's sitting in the chair, and he basically says that this is what happened. This is in the order he says it, and I don't understand what's going on. He says she was upset at him, so she locked herself in the bathroom. Then he decided to deactivate her phone for some odd reason. And then he says that she was yelling and hitting him, which I don't know how she was yelling and hitting him when she was in the bathroom. And then he says that she posted his number online. And we remember that because we remember when it was happening in real time. Like, we remember all of a sudden on Instagram it went crazy and she was saying, help me, help me. I'm locked in the bathroom. He's taken my phone. And I'm not sure how she made put those posts. Remember, she changed her whole Instagram to just be like, here's his number. He's bothering me. And so one of the fans called the police, or several of the fans called the police. The police is there, and I guess they're still arguing. They don't hear the police. The police kicks in the door. And they finally come downstairs and they handcuff Colt automatically, take him outside, question him, and then they end up handcuffing Larissa and taking her off and charging her with domestic battery. And so he's upset, and he says that it broke his heart when she started crying once she realized that she was going to go to prison. And my first thought was, why haven't either of these people learned their lesson, especially Larissa? The law is not going to be on her side. Why would she do the things why would he deactivate her phone is my number one thing. I felt like that was him trying to control her. But B, like, why also would she put all that stuff online and then not expect people to call the police and then the police to come to be on her side? Like, she's already the offender, but girl, she didn't know. So she's off to jail. He's sad. He calls to tell his best friend, Mother Debbie. And Debbie says that she doesn't know who Larissa is, that she's a different person now. And Colt is just like, you know what? I guess I didn't know her either. And I'm thinking to myself, what has she really done? Just because the police were involved doesn't mean that she really actually did anything. So I don't know. I mean, if she did lay hands on him, I think that he has a right to be upset and feel 100% disrespected. But I don't necessarily know that the police was the choice that needed to happen. Sorry, let me read my notes. Then handcuffed, domestic battery, took her to jail. She was crying, called Debbie. He also mentions that he wouldn't have money for bail. Like, he doesn't know how much the bail is going to be. And I'm like, you only have to pay $10,000. I mean, you only have to pay 10%, right? So if the bail is $10,000, you only have to pay $1,000 for her to get out. Like, she doesn't need to sit in jail. Like, even if the bail is $20,000, like, you don't got $2,000? Like, you don't got $1,000. Okay, let's say it's, maybe you don't have $2,000, but you don't have $1,000. Like, just in case shit happens. Sometimes you need $1,000. You should have at least $1,000 in savings somewhere in case some shit happens. Especially the two of you. You live with your mom. It's not like you live by yourself in like LA in like a studio apartment. You live in a city that doesn't have any taxes. The cost of living in Las Vegas is very low. My sister had like a 1-bedroom apartment in Las Vegas for $600. She couldn't pay her rent 1 month, and I was like, here, your rent is only $600. Here you go. Like, what? My rent was always way more than that. So like, here. And like, I'm just like, so you don't have a new car. You live in a house with your mother who's on disability. So is she not using that disability to her advantage? Like, I don't understand why their financial situation is seemingly so constrained. But I'm not here to like judge them. I'm just saying, like, you better find that money to take your wife out of prison is what I'm saying. Especially if she doesn't deserve to be in there. You better find that money. Like, take out a loan, pull out your 401k. I'm sure Debbie got some money somewhere. She get disability checks, probably Social Security too. Y'all can't put your little pennies together and get her out of prison? I don't know. That's just the way I see it. Like, and it might be different. You know, those of you in the audience may have a different story and opinion of that, and I can absolutely respect it. But just from my perspective, from them being in a very low cost of living state, living together, he should have a lot of money in savings, I think, unless he's blown it all, which is crazy. So then he says that, that he thought everything would be better after she and him made up the first time after her going to prison or jail. And he thought love would be enough, but he guessed it's not enough. And I'm like, the hell? Like, the hell? What do you mean you thought love would be enough? What world are you living in? Of course love is not enough. You can't eat love. You can't live off of love. Of course it isn't. You dummy. Anyways, so that's all for them. We'll get back to them if you guys have anything else to say about it. So hold on to your thoughts about this. Again, you guys, I am not going to be looking at the chat and the section, so you guys have to talk amongst yourself. I'm just going to be talking about the episode in order to honor those who are not watching this live. And I feel like my last night's live was kind of all over the place. Girl, she had anxiety and had to take anxiety medications before she went to bed. Don't know what's happening to me. I'm having a crazy bout of anxiety and stress. Can't even look at comment sections. Anyways, let's move on to Chantal and Pedro. Chantal and Pedro just really confused me so bad. And I know that you and I are going to fight about this, and I welcome that because I want to hear the other side. For those of you who are Team Chantal, I need you to save your questions to the end of this so that we can really talk about this, because I want to be on her side so bad because I know she wants this to work. But I feel that she's not willing to put aside her wants to make this work. And I know I just finished talking about women having to do things, put aside what they want in order to please men. But I think this is a slightly different situation. Okay, so let's talk about it. So first, the scene we have with them is Chantal looking bomb, girl. Chantal was giving us body, okay? And I was here for it. Fake titties and all. Body. She had on some nice, oh, girl, she was just looking so good with that white top and those print pants. Oh, Pedro with his little muscle shirt on. They make such a cute couple. And I know that they love each other, which is why this entire situation is so infuriating. Okay. Pedro is still really cold with her because this is the day after she went to his mom's house and disrespected the mom. And I know that we had a difference in opinion on this, but I feel like you go to the mom's house, you let the mom say her piece because she wasn't there when your mom ripped out her daughter's weave and your brother hit a lamp at her son's head. Like, but it's just because Chantal really doesn't think that it's her family's fault. She really doesn't. She actually wants him to be the bigger person in the exact same way he wants her to be the bigger person. But I think that Pedro has more of a cause to not be the bigger person because of all of the things that family Chantal has done to Pedro. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyways, he's still cold with her because of the argument with the mom, because she went into the mom's house and was rude and disrespectful. And the truth is she was. All of this is like, I don't want to talk about that. That's just in the past. Let's talk about the future. No, the mom needs to be able to talk to you about it. Like, it's not resolved. You can't just decide that because you don't want to talk about the fight that the mom is in the wrong for bringing it up. So it's her fault you guys got in a fight because she brought up something that you didn't want to talk about. No, girl, it's still unresolved. Y'all are adults. Have the conversation. I still feel like in order to squash it and be the example of how you want Pedro to be, then you need to do it too. And that was, hey, Lydia, I think that the situation that happened was unfortunate, and I'm sorry for anything that I've done to exacerbate that. Just say it, even if you don't believe it, girl. Like, you're trying to make this work with this man and his family, and you love him, he loves you, and you want this to work. You don't have to see them every day. You maybe have to see them on FaceTime once a week. What's the point in biting back feelings just to say what you need to say? You get what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't even get to see them all the time. Now he has to see her family all the time. And that's a problem. Okay. Anyways. So then he says to her, why did you come here? And she says to work things out between you and I. And he's like, but I came here to be with my family. I came here to get away from you and your family and be with people who love me and have a good time. And then you come here acting like you want things to get better, but you go to my mom's house and you're disrespectful. So exactly why did you come here? And she's like, because of you, I came here to fix the problem. I want to fix us, not fix me and your family. I didn't come here for them. And he's like, but I came here for them. Like, that's what you don't understand. It's not like he went to Aruba. He didn't go to a random island just to have a vacation from her. He went to be with her family. Now, I mean, be with his family. Now, the fact that he bought a one-way ticket is shady as fuck, right? That's wrong of him. But I don't get why she came there. It's like she came there to stop him from being with people, even though they might be talking shit about her, like, who cares? Like, her presence there isn't going to change anything unless she was going to be perfect. You know, girl, come on, scheme better, child, scheme better, learn about the human condition better. And so he basically says that he was fine there without her drama. Chantal says okay and grabs his hand, and it's just like, she finally does the thing that I've wanted her to do, is grab his hand and say, okay, babe, I'll go talk to your sister for you. I will do this for you. I don't want to, but in order to make things better, I will do this for you. And I'm just like, okay, great. Even though you still shouldn't be there because he was having fun with his family who he hasn't seen in a long time. And he wants to be around people who love him. Like, you don't understand how, she doesn't understand how her still blaming him for the fight between him and River affected him and affects him. And then also his interpretation of her saying she didn't want to have a baby with him, like, really fucked him up. Okay. She says that she's going to meet with the sister and be cordial, but she can't promise anything. So then she goes to meet with the sister. And Nicole walks up and Chantal has that smug thing on her face that she does. Like, well, as though that doesn't translate. Girl, we all see what you're doing. Like, you're being fake. We see it. You don't have to smile then if you don't feel like it. You can just be like, hi, Nicole. You don't have to be like, hi, Nicole. Like, what? So then Nicole says that, you know, all the problems that happen is Chantal's fault. Nicole also says that she didn't come there for Chantal. She came there for Pedro, to support Pedro. Nicole also says that the fight was started by River hitting the lamp, which I agree. Here's what I also agree. And here's what I also know has happened. Sorry, I need water. Chantal was complaining about Nicole to her family, then invited Nicole and Pedro to the dinner, and her family tried to defend her, which is not their place to do, and ended up attacking a guest who doesn't speak their language from another country, and then made Pedro have to stand up and defend his sister. That is what happened. Like that, Karen did not need to confront Nicole about Nicole's clapping when Chantal left the room. Chantal also didn't need to tell her mom that. She don't got friends. Why wouldn't Chantal just tell her bestie? She got that bestie that was on the episode the first season. I can't remember her name. Is like Nena or like something. She has that Gigi. I think her name is Gigi. She has a best friend. Why is she telling her mother and her sister the problems that are happening within their family, within her and her husband? And then they react, and that's inappropriate. And then he reacts, and that's already after the build up Family Chantal saying that he's trying to harvest the American dollar, that Lydia has some kind of website hooking up Dominican men with American women to get citizenship, and to say all this stuff. This is after all of this stuff has already happened. Like, what did they expect to happen? They have been attacking Pedro, as far as I can see, for a long time. And Chantal only defends Pedro when he's not there and they go extra. Anyways, that's just how I see it. So then during her confessionals, Chantal was like, and then Nicole showed up with that ugly ass outfit. And I was just like, pause. Sis, you're being a hater because Nicole looks fucking cute. Okay? I get you mad, but Nicole was looking cute. I wish I could pull off that. Girl. Ugh, I wish I could pull it off. Anyway, it was cute. So Chantal says that Nicole came to the US with an attitude, and Nicole had been doing stuff to her and bothering her. And so she felt like she had to tell her sister and her mother, and that it was appropriate for her sister and her mother to gang up on Nicole. I mean, that's basically what she's saying. I mean, I get that maybe Nicole was an asshole to her, but you just take it. Like, you smile and you take it, because that is your husband's only sister. That is the person that your husband has grown up with his entire life. Okay. And it is Pedro's duty to tell Nicole to chill. It is. And I don't know if he did that or he didn't do it, but it is it. Because if I'm trying to think if it was the opposite situation, I get along with my sister-in-law. But I think that if I didn't, my brother would be mad at me, and he would be like, not mad. I mean, this is what I know. This is what I feel like might happen. One or two things, which is the only two things that can happen. Either my brother would tell his wife to not pay attention to me because that's just the way I am, and he'd to be like, stop, just nice. And I'd be like, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But like, he would definitely talk to her and try to explain my behavior and be like, that's just how he is. That's just how she is. Because my brother is my first best friend. Like, when you grow up in a house with just one other sibling and you guys are close and you only have the one parent, like, that's his best friend. Anyways, I know that there are people out there who go, oh, once you get married, your wife becomes your best friend or your spouse becomes your best friend. But I think that's just one way. That's not all the ways that relationships like that can go, you know? And obviously Pedro's situation is not the way that Chantal wants it to be. Okay, so Nicole shows up and says that that Chantal owes Nicole an apology. Chantal feels like Nicole owes her an apology, and so they're just at a stalemate. And then she wants Pedro to like stop his sister and make his sister's, you know, I guess I don't know what it is. She says that Chantal says that Pedro is not on her side, and that Pedro always pulls the same kind of bullshit and takes the side of his family, which I say she does the exact same thing. They're both wrong when it comes to telling their business. In fact, Pedro's whole fucking shit with Coraima and then him going back telling his whole posse about the kind of wife Chantal is wrong. It's wrong. But Chantal is wrong too, because she did it as well. And as far as we know, she did it first. Like, as far as we know, she been run back tell that. Especially about him sending money back to his family. She been run back tell that. She been telling her mama about the money situation. And now the shit is spiraled out of control. It is far out of control. So someone needs to just be the bigger person and say, you know what, fuck it, I'm sorry. And I think that it needs to be Chantal, because Pedro has lived underneath the tyranny of her family for the last 2 years. He really has. She hasn't had to live with Lydia and Nicole being shitty to her. She hasn't had to live with it. Okay, anyways, that's the end of them. We can talk about them later. All right, so the next couple we have are Paola and Russ. So they're setting up the crib. Paola's wearing like a little cute outfit. Russ is worried about Paola because Paola says that she wants to have the baby in the house. Russ is like acting like that. Like, Russ is acting like she said she wanted to have the baby in the backseat of a fast-moving car. Like, I get that it's a new concept to him, but girl, Google that. She's saying that she wants the right ambiance, she wants candles, she wants like a big like tub, and he's like, how am I gonna get hot water to the tub? I have to figure that out. And I'm like, you have to figure out how to put a boiling pot of water on the stove and pour it into, I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, you don't have a water hose? You can't just like bring a water hose into the house? Maybe they live in an apartment, but like, okay, then like what are you talking about? There's so many ways. There's so many ways. It was the dumbest thing. But anyways, I understand why he's, you know, scared about it, because she's at risk pregnancy. You know, I understand why he's upset, but his like reasoning is so weird to me. It's so weird. She says that she's going to want snacks. Then he's like, she's going to have a big meal afterwards. And I just don't know. And I'm like, you don't know where like Boston Market is? Like, you don't know where, like, there's no, like, claim jumpers. There's not a place that you can go and, like, order some food. There's no Postmates. What is you talking about? It's a really cute moment where I think the baby kicks her and she's like, yes, I'm talking about you. And I was like, pobrosita, that's so cute. Oh, tiki tiki, tiki tiki baby. It was so cute. Then she has a conversation with her mom while she's folding chonies. And her mother is surprised that she wants to have the baby at home too. Her mother's surprised because she says that her mother never expected her to have a kid, and they're really working hard to get her visa to come to the U.S. to be there for the baby. But it's hard to get into the U.S. these days. Certain travel bans on places. You know what I'm saying? Like, had this been like 2.5 years ago, mommy would have been able to come to the U.S. It might have been a little easier. And that's funny because there are a lot of people I know who are here on a green card or who are part of the Dreamers program who are worried about their immigration status. And it's like insane how many people I know are worried about their immigration status because of this new regime. So it's not something that she's just making up. It's a real thing. Like the last guy I dated, the Indian guy, was like, oh my God, that scared me. Did you guys hear that? Someone's door closed. Anyway, so the last guy I dated was like, yeah, I can't leave the country and go home because I'm worried that I won't be able to come back in. I was like, damn, times is tough. And her mom wants her to have a baby in the hospital too. So she also wants to be there in general. I think that's really sweet. All right. So the next couple that we're going to talk about is Andrei and Libby. Now, listen, I've been trying to defend Andrei, and I know the last two I haven't really been on his side, but I am full force, 100% not on Andrei's side. That fool is a lunatic. I'm like, bro, and I hate to make it be like, well, you ain't make no money, so you ain't got no say. But basically, what say do you have? Her family is throwing a baby shower for her. And it's the saddest, most beautiful baby shower I have ever seen in my life. There was like 5, 6 people there. Where was Chuck? Where was the brother? Were they just off camera? Like, where was everybody else? They have a big ass family. And there's only like 5 people there. Where are her friends? She don't got no friends? It was weird. I don't know if that was just the baby shower for the show and then the real baby shower is going to happen another time. But girl, that was a sad turnout. So anyways, Becky, the single sister, is throwing the baby shower. And Libby gets ready and she looks beautiful in this pink dress. And Andrei is annoyed at Jen because Libby ran her mouth and told Andrei that Jen was complaining about him not having a job and him quitting trucking. So remember when they did the baby registry thing and then she left and got in the car and was telling Andrei about what happened and Andrei snatched the phone? Andrei is still mad at Jen for that. And then Libby gonna have the audacity to say that Andrei is mad at Jen because he knows how much shit she talks about him. And I wanted to be like, oh ma'am, how does he know that? Who told him that? How would he know? Is he a part of the group chat? Oh no, you told him. You did. You did that. So whose fault is it now for being a chismosa? You don't have friends? Why you gotta tell your sister everything? Anyways, Andrei gets to the baby shower. Andrei and Libby get to the baby shower, and the usual suspects are there. There's about 5, 6 people there, and 2 of the children. And Jen walks in, and Andrei is annoyed that Jen is there. And then Andrei, in the exact same room, the same kitchen, is gonna be talking to Becky. Like, why did you invite her? How come you didn't tell me that Jen was coming? And Becky is like, why didn't I tell you? And Andrei's like, shh, why didn't you tell me? And Becky's like, because it's my house. And you're just like, you're like, damn, Jen. Oh, damn, Becky. And then he's like, shh, 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 shh. And then Becky's like, all right, let's go over here. So they went over into the hallway and she's like, look, I'm inviting whoever I want to invite to my house, first of all. Secondly, this is our baby sister's baby shower. You expected me to tell our sister that she can't come? What planet is you living on? What planet are you living on? Jen knows that they're talking about her. And then Libby gets up from her seat eating cake and goes back in there and is like, what's going on? And then Andrei is like, I wish that Becky had told us, Rebecca had told us or told me that Jen was coming. And I wanted to be like, Andrei, did you pay for the baby shower? Did you help Rebecca plan this baby shower? Why is it that you need to know the guest list? What, I'm sorry, who gave you the crown? Like, why are you even there? Why are you at this baby shower? It's our baby shower, and I just don't know if I didn't want Jen to be there. Like, no, that is not realistic, and you're being silly. And that's what Libby says. Libby's like, my sisters were going to come to my baby shower. I don't know why you're being this way and why you're pulling Rebecca aside to have this conversation with her. You're being rude and you're causing drama. And he's like, I'm not being rude. I'm just speaking how I feel. And then he says that, like, in Moldova, people just say how they feel. And I'm like, I don't agree with that. I don't agree. Maybe men do. Maybe men just like say whatever in a boisterous voice and expect the women to, do whatever. But that machismo stuff happens everywhere, but it's still irrational wherever you go. For him, and then for him to blame it on being Moldovan is dumb, because there are men in the US who are dumb like that too. Men who think they have or people, I'm not going to say men and be sexist, like people who think that they have a right to dictate things when they are not planning anything, putting any monies up. They're not doing anything, but for some reason they feel like they need to be like at the front line. Like, no. No. Let's see. Then they leave the party. Everybody is still there. They open 2 gifts and leave the party. I didn't understand what kind of, I didn't understand this baby shower at all. It was the saddest baby shower I'd ever seen in my life. Well, I be done seen about everything, but this whack ass baby shower. It was whack. Can we talk about Elizabeth's lips for a minute? Can we just talk about why Elizabeth won't give herself a Cupid's bow? Like, maybe she doesn't have one, but why does she make her lips like a cartoon character? She looks like American Dad, like the mom or the sister or the blonde person from American Dad, where your lip is just, and she's not even making it a full circle. Do I have lipstick in my bag? Because if I have lipstick in my bag, I'm gonna put it on like her and show you what is happening. Oh, please tell me I have lipstick in my bag. No, that's chapstick. Damn it. If I had, there's water over here. If I had it, I would show you. But it is ridiculous. Does anyone else agree with me? Okay, I think that's it. We're at 32 minutes. I did it in 30 minutes, you guys. So if you guys are watching this not live, you can go ahead and check out here, because we're just going to be having conversations at this point. If you want to stay around and listen, stay around and listen. But I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I want you to check out the merch down below. Let's have a kiki conversation in the comment section. And remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. Okay, people, let's get into this key. What y'all saying? Slain Fallen Angel says, Andrei is in America now. When he is in Rome, he has to do as Romans do. He needs to be more courteous and grateful. I agree. Misha says, caveman mentality is real. Lorraine says, that's like 40,000 JMD. Oh, I missed that. Joy is just putting a lot of crying, laughing emojis. Kimberly says her whole life is a cartoon, including that lip girl. Geechee Gal, Geechee Gal, I love it. She says he is a-hole. She is in for a ride with this guy. She absolutely is, but she loves him. I think I don't know, there's something like, not charismatic, but because of that machismo personality, like I could see a woman falling head over heels, but then when you actually have to deal with it in real life, especially when they're not paying all the bills, girl, no. You don't get to be that machismo if you ain't paying my bills. That's a lot of money in JA for rent. Please have lipstick. Let me just go get it. Tiana says that she 100% agree with somebody above her, maybe because Jessie Lee's not here. I didn't know what to think about Chantal. Please help me, says Lorraine. Miss Shannon says she's talking to Ricky, or yeah, Rickety. Yeah, but it was a huge furnished apartment with utilities included. I didn't like the cheaper places. Oh, you guys are having a different conversation. 287 people in this room and only 92 likes. I'm gonna need y'all to get it together. Libby is panicking. She thought Andrei would make money. She did. We all did. I thought he was going to be too. And I was very much on his side. I was like, Chuck, Mr. Chuck, just give Andrei a chance. And, you know, Mr. Chuck was right and I was wrong. Chantal and Pedro and Libby are examples of how not to manage your people if you want people to buy into your relationship. Exactly, girl. Tell your friends, don't tell your mom. It's like she just refuses to give herself a dip. Because, like, even if you don't have a Cupid's bow, you can create one. By the way, what I'm putting on my lips is Vampira by Kat Von D. It's one of my favorite. Burgundy. When it dries down, it has a gold sheen in it. You can still see my Cupid's bow. My natural one. But let's pretend like I don't. I'm not doing a good example of it. Okay. Let's see. What do you guys think? I don't, she's making a sugar baby level of demands. Esther says, do you guys think Colt was the person that called the cops on Larissa? I think so. No, I don't think he was. Because I remember this happening in real time. And it was one of the, there were people who were like, I called the police. There are people who were like saying that underneath the comment that she put. I thought Libby had lip injections or an allergic reaction. That's hilarious. I don't know how you can be poor and jobless with a baby on the way and that entitled. If your pride is greater than your desire to support your family, it's a problem. Two entitled people together. I mean, Ketaway has never said the truth. I mean, that is exactly what's happening. It's two entitled people who are together who don't have a pot to piss in together. And I'm like, how? How? Girl, did you talk about Mr. Tony? Who's Mr. Tony? Who's Mr. Tony? Answer. Tell me who Mr. Tony is so I can answer you. The Twinkie GG says, tell your friends, don't tell your mom. What if in his utter stupidity, he goes and tells your mom thinking your mom will support him? Some people are just born stupid, idiot, dumb. Miss Shannon says, I have no idea why they decided to get pregnant. Rogel Nan says the bail bondsman. Is Mr. Tony the bail's bondman? That's hilarious. I'm so sad for this situation. I wish Libby would wake up. I don't know how you can move out of a rent-free house with a baby on the way. Oh, Brittany, who are you telling, girl? I don't know how either. Between the two of them, they won't even get a W-2 easy form. And if she wasn't working for her dad, who knows? Did you guys know that she's in a like Christian faith, a faith-based thriller, a faith, blah, Jesus Louises. She is in a faith-based thriller called something dumb. But I'm like, what is a faith-based thriller? So it's a thriller that has Christian undertones. So how is there like someone trying to kill her? Is it like, I'm trying to think of a joke that has something to do with the blood of Jesus, but I can't think of it. Is she being stalked by the Holy Ghost? What is going on? Is she running away from her blessings? Yeah, I gotta find it. Girl, look at this outfit. 90 Day Fiancé Cray Cray posted this outfit of Nicole. Chantel gonna call this outfit ugly. Girl, you see this outfit? This cute as fuck. This cute as fuck, okay? That's what 90 Day Cray Cray says. I like Sister Pedro's outfit and no one can convince me otherwise. I feel the same way. Chantal was having all that hateration in her dancery at that moment. Let me try to find the faith-based thing. What is it called? Everybody was posting about it. Be Still and Know, Fall 2019. Be still and know. Okay, so but what I'm saying is that's basically like, don't worry about it. You're in Jesus's hands, or God's got you. Be still and know He's got your back. But how is that a thriller? Flower says it's a thriller and suspense without the stabbing and murder and no cuss words. Exactly. All right, so let's move on to the family Chantal. Put your comments in. Let's talk about it. I just watched the new 90 Day and Chantal did Nicole make fun, and Chantal D-A-I, Nicole made fun of her hair. I don't know. I'm getting Mimi. I don't know what's happening. Write it again. Karen says, who wants to watch that movie? Nobody. Ketaway says, I love the Lord, but that's a mess. Kimberly says, I love the top pair. The top pair, that top with some jeans and those heels Chantal was wearing. I thought Chantal's outfit was cute too. Should have been still in that house. Ruggle Non says, did Larissa get arrested twice or 3 times? It was twice. Esther says, I'm over both families. Mimi says, family Chantal is full of shit. Miss Shannon says, they should get off TV and get therapy ASAP. I absolutely agree. Slang Fallen Angel says, I totally disagree with you concerning them. I know, people do. And I'm interested in hearing your other side. Like, so my question to the people who feel like Pedro is wrong and Chantal is right, do you guys don't feel any kind of way about his family or about her family attacking him and coming up with all these crazy things that they think his mother is doing? What do you think? You thought that was okay, or you thought like, nah, that sucks, but he should just suck it up? Kimberly says, is Chantal's mom and dad special? No, they just don't know things. They're just ignorant. Melanated Mermaid says, Chantal's body is looking so good. True. Adrian says, you guys are doing faster than I thought. Adrian says, Libby was in Homeland. What the fuck? Oh, she was an extra. She wasn't in it. How many of these, like, I was in a Little John music video, girl, but I wasn't in it. I was an extra. How many of these couples have really, oh no, not a Little John music video. I was in a Little John sketch with Funny or Die a couple of years, like a lot of years ago, girl. It was a long time ago. Pedro is getting thick in all the best ways. They're looking good. The one-way ticket is suspicious, but come on, dude. When Pedro's mom said that she was going to beat up Chantal's family, I believed her. Yes, Chantal needs to keep her family out of it. Pedro wouldn't have talked to his family if she didn't. I think so too. I don't agree with how they treated Pedro, says Tiana. Geechee Gal says, I'm sorry Pedro's family is getting money from Chantal and treats her like crap. I'm sorry. Pedro's family is getting money from Chantal and treats her like crap. Okay, Geechee Gal. So the reason you say that is because they're married, right? And because they're married, their money is one. And him sending his money to them is a problem. I understand, but here's my thing is that my parents, for the majority of my life, had separate bank accounts. And they treated it as such. Like, there were certain bills that they paid together. I mean, no, like my dad paid insurances, like car insurances, and he paid the mortgage. My mom paid utilities, and anything else, like when it came to us, like whoever just went to the store, like if I needed something or if the kids needed something, then it was like, just go to the store and get it. You know, they didn't like go, oh, it was my turn. I went and bought, Lunchables last week. You buy Lunchables this week. Like, no, both of my parents cooked. So both of my parents bought groceries, and like, they just went and did it. So it was never like they split certain things, and then certain things, it was just everybody's duty to do it. So that's why I'm saying, like, I don't get that. I understand it, but it didn't happen in my household. So that's why I don't get it. So if my dad was giving money to his sisters or giving money to his brothers, it wouldn't have necessarily been something that he would have said to my mother. Because as long as he was paying his part of the rent and his part of the bills, then, I mean, his mortgage and whatever, then whatever else he did with his money was his business. So that's why I'm coming from a different perspective when it comes to that. So in my mind, Pedro was taking care of home and also taking care of DR home. And I think that was a fundamental problem, because I feel like Chantal grew up in a household where her mother worked if she didn't work, and if she did work, it was by choice. And her father took care of everything. So I think the fact that Chantal even has to work or is going to nursing school is kind of a big deal, because I think in Chantal's mind, she's a beauty queen / princess, and she should have a man who is doing everything for her and their family, and should be saving the money instead of sending it to his family. So that's why I don't necessarily agree with that. Esther says Pedro has to learn the hard way to cut his family. He just provided everything he wished. And once they were good, he needs to send less. I have my glasses on. Why am I stressing myself out? Stressing my eyeballs out. Rogelnon says yes to the separate bank account, one joint, one for vacations. Yeah, I agree. As long as he's paying what he needs to, he should be able to do what he wants with his extra money. Esther says, I bet that's why he is trying to establish a business over there, to have a stable income for them. Right. Sherwood says, it's hard for me to enjoy this show now because of the scripted parts are so obvious. My mother ran the house, says Tiana. Aren't we talking about greater than $100 a month going to Pedro's family? A, they should have discussed this giving before marriage, and B, they should have covered this in their household budgeting. I agree, Kimberly. I agree with you. So that's another thing. I think that if he didn't have a conversation with her about him sending money back home and what the expectation is, that was wrong. However, if he did have the conversation and she still felt like he shouldn't have done it, then what else could be had, you know? Brazilian girl says, I'd understand how Pedro's English got worse with time, even though he's married to an American. I feel like his English has gotten better. I saw some early episodes and it is much better. Chim says, then she shouldn't have married Pedro if that's what she wanted. She should have married someone filthy rich. But I think she loves Pedro and he's fine. And he loves her too. They have pet names for each other. I think they love each other. And he's fine, and he's her age, and he's willing to come here and work. Like, I don't remember the time where Pedro wasn't working. And if he wasn't working, she was very chill with it. I feel like non-immigrants don't get sending money thing. To me, it makes sense. To me, it makes sense too, Rickety. Like, first of all, I'm American, but my parents are getting old, and I'm living with my parents now so that I can give them money, because I can't afford to not live with them and give them money. So I live with them so that I can help them out and give them money, even though they don't need it. Like, they could pay their shit by themselves, but I want them to have extra money to do all the things that they couldn't do because they had kids. So, like, who my significant other is going to have to understand that some of my money is going to go to my family. So that's just the way it is. Sherwood, her Spanish, on the other hand, is atrocious. Her Spanish has gotten better too. But I think they're speaking more in English than they are in Spanish. So they need to speak more in Spanish. Well, low key, if they're going to redistribute that $100 a month, I vote for Pedro to have a barber allowance. It's so true. Why hasn't Pedro done his hair? Is he growing it out? Is he trying to get faux locks? What's going on, Pedro? You're right. Let's talk about Chantal trying to cry. Oh, so that's where my shit cut off. So they kept showing previews of Chantal getting up and walking away, and then Pedro coming to her and saying, you need to go wait for me in Atlanta. I didn't get to see that. They didn't show it in what I saw. It cut off right after she got up and walked away. So I don't know. Her Spanish has not gotten better. Wow, that conversation with Pedro's mother, and sister kills me. You know what? It's better than me. And so to me, I'm just like, oh, the fact that she can have a whole ass conversation in the past tense and the present tense, I can only speak in present tense. Like I cannot speak in the past tense at all. So I'm always impressed. Brazilian girl says he needs that badly. Yeah, girl, he needs his hair cut so bad. Whoo, he needs to pick it out. I think that at least she can speak some Spanish is good because look at whack ass Paul. Paul made Karini learn English. Geechee Gal. What did Geechee Gal say? I don't know. But anyways, Miss Shannon says, Geechee Gal, a nice apartment in a third world country is cheaper than an Atlanta apartment. Yeah, no, it is. I'm pretty because the peso, it's in pesos, right? It's in pesos. So let's see. Let me see. Make us see how much it costs. I mean, I could ask Dominican's friend, but it's late where they are. Okay, so let me see. How many Dominican pesos is a dollar? Okay, so 500. Oh, is that real? Jesus. You guys ready for this? 500 DOP, which is the Dominican peso, is $9.77. 1,000 DOP is $19.55. So even if their apartment, like what can their apartment cost? 10,000 DOPs is $195.47. Jesus freaking Louises. So what? Maybe the apartment is I mean, could you imagine someone telling you your rent is 300,000 pesos? Let me look how much that is. That's crazy. How much could the apartment be? I mean, it's like how much are apartamentos in the Dominican? I don't feel like it's gonna give me the right thing. Dominican. How much are apartments in Dominican? Cost of living. Oh, that's in Dominican. No, I don't want that one. Cost of living in Dominican Republic on $1,000 a month. One bedroom apartment in the center of Puerto Plata is $720 a month, while the average price for a 300 bedroom condominium is $405. Punta Cana. I mean, I don't know where they exactly live, but in one part in Puerto Plata, it's $405. So yeah, I think I'm sure it does depend on the area, but like, if he's sending $1,000 a month, that is a lot. But if he's making enough to send $1,000 and then still have money to pay Chantal, I mean, what kind of job he got? I hate that job. They have a 3-bedroom when they could have just gotten they got a 3-bedroom for when Chantal and Pedro come to visit. That's why they have a 3-bedroom. Minimum wage is that much, is 150, is like 150. My uncle's a realtor. Someone said that an apartment is probably 30,000 pesos. Jesus. Girl, it's crazy. I also think it was kind of crazy for Chantal at their wedding, their boda, when they went to Dominican Republic to have their boda. I thought it was really crazy for her to sit down and tell Lydia that she doesn't like the fact that he sends them gifts and dresses and anything that they want. That conversation was going to fall on deaf ears. Like if somebody were to come to me and tell me that they didn't like the fact that my brother bought me a dress and didn't buy them a dress, my first thought would be like, why don't you buy your own dress? You have a house. I mean, you have a job. And then my second thought would be like, so what do you want me? You want me to be like, okay, I'll tell him to stop buying me things. That's my best friend. That's my first best friend. Like, what? Um, hmm, yeah, that rarely happens. Meanwhile, Chantal and Pedro have a studio. I just feel like there should be a balance. They don't have a studio. They have a one bedroom. A dollar, yes, the dollar goes a long way out there. You're saying a dress. It wasn't just a dress. This is crazy. No, yeah. I mean, it wasn't just a dress. It was a TV and dresses and stuff. But like, I don't know. Was he going to Macy's and getting these dresses, or was he at Forever 21 buying, $20 dresses? Like, we don't know. Chantal was disrespectful for saying that to Lydia. That's how I feel too. Like Lydia, I know they're asking. I know that Lydia and Nicole are asking Pedro for things, and Pedro is in the land of milk and honey, and he has extra money, and he knows that that money can go a long way in the DR. Why wouldn't he give it to his family? Slaying falling angels. Tell me what you think. I like this. I wanna like hear this point and keep saying the things that are different than me. I want to hear them. They can live like queens in the DR for $12K a year. I mean, if he's giving them $12K a year, that is a lot. I just need to know how much he's giving them a year in order to really make a decision. I mean, a month, If it's $1,000, as long as he can afford it. Chantal should have taken it up with Pedro on that. I agree. Yeah. Mimi says, that's not Chantal's business. Pedro should check her. How dare you? Like, I get how it kind of is, but I see that if needs are being met in the US, why is she worried about him sending money to his family? Is it because she feels like she wants him to buy her things and she wants him? I wasn't raised with that mentality. Also, like, I'm super single, so I just don't expect people to buy me things. Even if they're my significant other, I don't know that I would expect that. Maybe I would. I can't say that because I don't know. Maybe I would. What does Veronica say? Pedro can help, but his mother needs to understand that Pedro and Chantal aren't rich. I agree with that. But that's Pedro's job to say that. It's not Chantal's job to say that. Hi, Naji. Welcome to the room. So there are 345 people in this room and only 136 likes. I feel like that's a little bit of an imbalance. If we can get some more likes, that'd be fantastic. These are two immature people who jumped into a marriage without having the necessary conversations and taking the time to learn about each other's culture. I agree with you, Sherwood. Teacher Miss A says, I'm a Frida-holic. I'm with Frida-holic. Oh, I don't know what Frida-holic said. Esther says, it becomes a big issue with her parents, but put in their 2 cents. I agree. Sierra, welcome. Or Cara, welcome. Slang Falling Angel says, I think they should have discussed this prior to marriage, and it is her business. Right, you are single, so sorry, you just wouldn't understand. Marriage is a partnership. Yeah, I think that's my blind spot. I can see you on that. But because it is my blind spot, I guess I'm still Team Pedro. Especially because I feel the way, okay, Slang Falling Angels. What do you think about the fact that his family has come after him for those things? Do you think that Chantal should have run back and told her family that? And do you think that it was right of them to attack him 2 different times? And I'm not saying physically, I'm saying with the conversations that they had with him. Like, do you think it's right for them to butt in and say those things? I don't think so. I feel like Seda says, I feel like it should have been a problem. It would have been a problem if he was just sending money and covering his bills here in the US. But if he is taking care of his business here, then it shouldn't be a problem with sending. Slaying follows it. They are both wrong, Chantal and Pedro. Yes, to a certain extent, I think that Pedro is wrong. But I think that he's unable to see how wrong he is in certain instances because of her family attacking him. All right, I like that. Thank you, Fallen Angel. I appreciate your commentary on all of that. We are at 58 minutes. We've been talking for a long time, you guys. Thank you guys so much for being in this room. I'm about to shine off, but if you guys don't want me to, or you want to continue talking about stuff, we can. Veronica says it doesn't have to be that Chantal wants him to buy her things, but $100 a month would help them increase their savings. Pedro is wrong, but Chantal is going about the situation the wrong way. Okay, Veronica, I could see that, definitely. I could see that. Chantal sees herself as a princess and better than Pedro's family. This is the problem that continues. To me, the fullest disrespect was them getting to Abuela's house and not getting out of the van. Like, to me, that shit was like, you can't walk back from that. Her family went to the DR and completely disrespected his family. Faux Fashionista says, absolutely not. Her parents butting in are in a is stifling her ability to resolve conflict within her own marriage. She needs to stop running to them for every little argument. I agree. Teresa says, Pedro's family is super shady. Teresa, explain yourself. Why are they super shady? Yes, they were so rude. You're right. The total disrespect. That's just what I think. And I think that's why I'm having a hard time being on their side of the family or being on Chantel's side, because they didn't get out of the car. If that were, I mean, that just wouldn't happen. My family would never, ever do that. Now, my mom, she's American, and I could see her like doing something like this where she's like, where's my purse? Sitting in the house and being like, meanwhile, the rest of us are like, hey, you know, and she's like, but like, my dad wouldn't let her sit in the car. I mean, there would be a definite stern conversation. Get out of this van right now. You are not going to come here and be rude and embarrass me in front of these people. Get out of this car. That's exactly what would have happened. Get out of this car. Or if my dad was telling me, Hinga, get out of this vehicle. Hingate. My dad always starts to speak to me in Garifuna when like he's like got something real good to say. He doesn't want to say it in English. And I'm always like, fine. How are chicken feet a diss? Oh, you guys are still talking about the chicken feet. Here's the one side of that chicken feet story. People are saying like, if the family Chantal didn't eat chicken feet, I mean, if Pedro's family didn't eat chicken feet, why would they serve it? Why would they serve it if they didn't actually eat it themselves? My thing is that because they're on TV, and I'm pretty sure the producers said, cook a meal that's specifically Dominican. It would be like Pedro and Lydia and Nicole coming to the US and family Chantal cooking chitlins. They may not eat chitlins, but they're going to serve a quintessential Southern dish, right? Or serving fish and grits, which isn't as weird as chicken feet, but still. Chicken gizzards and chitlins are two different things. Like, yeah, getaway, exactly. Yep, how Angela had to eat snails while in Nigeria. That was the grossest thing when she spit it back in his mouth. But the real tea is, says Shantaria, people are attacking Pedro for sending money home, but no one says boo about Chantal spending what appears to be a large amount of money on plastic surgery. Her dad's paying for that plastic surgery. Fish and grits are fire. I don't know. I was at a brunch place. I'm in Nashville, and the place was serving fish and grits, and I was like, should I order it? Should I order it? Should I order it? Should I order it? And I didn't order it because I didn't want a savory dish. I wanted a sweet dish. But there's this place that I'm going to try that has shrimp and grits, so I'm going to try that. Chicken feet is most affordable in the PTSD. I mean, in the DR. Getaway says she was PTSD from that scene. Is that dude her real dad or her stepdad? That's her real dad. Shrimp and grits is also delish. I'm going to try it. Chicken feet soup isn't that bad, but I don't care for it. My dad tries to get me to eat cow foot soup all the time. And I'm like, bro, let me tell you what I'm not going to eat. Cow foot soup. My brother's like, ooh, cow foot soup is so good. Mom, it's so good. I'm like, no. I'm not eating cow foot soup. Thank you. Selena says, I love chicken feet. My family thinks I'm gross because it looks like baby hands. Kimberly says, the other Kimberly, not Kimberly Mayfield, says, Pedro never established himself legit when he met the family. Hard to claim that role now. What do you mean? We grew up on shrimp and grits in Charleston. Yum. Add some bacon to that. Yes. I'm going to try it. I saw the lady sitting next to me. She was eating fish and grits and it looked good, but she was crying, so I couldn't ask her if she wanted something. Girl, she was on the phone. She was FaceTiming some Negro and like crying. And I was like, I literally was sitting next to her. Like, this is her phone right here. And I looked over and this guy on the phone, and she's not looking at him. She doesn't have the phone up, but she has her headphones in and she's like crying. And like the bartender, or I was sitting at the bar was like, are you okay? Everybody asked you okay? And I looked over her. She got tears falling down her face. And this fool is on here. And I was like, what is he doing to you? I wanted to grab the phone and be like, what are you doing to her? I was like, I don't know anybody in this situation. She couldn't even finish her food, but I was going to ask her if it was delicious. At this point, someone needs to be an adult and forgive and move on, or just divorce. Slaying angels. I agree with you. It has to be miserable beefing with your in-laws. I agree with you. I agree with you. Like, I agree. We agree on that. I think that they just need to get divorced. Caribbeans will lay out an elaborate meal. Best china for the guests. Chicken feet is casual. That's what the producers wanted. And I thought that's what they were doing. And then Chantal is like, oh, your family disrespected my family before they even met them. I was like, because they called you a stupid American? Please sound off if you guys really would have been offended by being called a stupid American. I mean, anybody with half, like, that feels like that feels so petty to be upset that people, the reason why they called them stupid Americans is because Pedro told them that they thought that he was scamming. And so they're like, oh, they're stupid Americans. But for those Americans to get so upset as though, like, are they really that offended? Like, are you, a lot of people outside of this country think Americans are stupid. And hey, guess what? Many Americans are stupid. We're very ignorant. We only know about ourselves. We don't know much about anything that's happening in the world around us. Whereas people in other countries know what's happening in the world around them, and they know what's happening in the US. They at least know what's happening in 2 different countries. The Americans don't even know what's happening in the next city over. Like, why are you upset with that? I don't get it. Oh, Slaying Falling Angel says, I don't care why. Don't call me stupid, period. Huh. Yeah. I feel like, I don't know how to say this without like being like seeming like a bitch, but I feel like, who cares what 2 people in the DR say about you and call you stupid? Who the fuck cares? Like, who the fuck cares? I mean, just for me. I mean, Falling Angels, if you do care, I feel you. But I guess I'm just like, I don't care what anybody says. Let's see. April says, ignorance and stupidity are 2 different things. Ignorance is a lack of knowledge. Stupidity implies you're unable to learn, and it's insulting as fuck. April. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Americans are very ignorant. But I also think that there are a lot of stupid Americans too. And I think that stupidity comes from wanting to remain ignorant. And I think that's where I have a problem. But if you have to meet those people, invite them into your family, it matters. It certainly sets the tone. Okay, I can see that. If somebody were to call me a stupid American, I'd be like, okay, I'm not stupid. And like, I'm in a better position than you, so I'm going to go on ahead and be the bigger person. You can call me stupid if you want to, but you're the one asking me for dresses, so I'm stupid. Willful ignorance. Yeah, I think that is stupid. I think willful ignorance, like choosing to not know things or read things or educate yourself and stay stuck in your own little world, to me is stupid. It's an act of being stupid, not actually not being able to learn. April says, I wouldn't lose sleep over it, but I wouldn't like them either. Okay. But would you go to their house and confront them on it? Especially if you chose to go to their house. It's like they just went to the DR to confront them, and that was inappropriate. They call me stupid, and my response is to mama with her chicken foot ass. I don't know what that means. April, Americans are willfully ignorant often. Kimberly D says, stupid Americans is the least of their worries. Their daughter chased her husband and his one-way ticket with no plan, no real plan. JT Zim says, like Nickel not learning Muslim culture. Bramble Bush says, I think Chantal and her family look down on the Dominicans. I absolutely think they do too. So this is another reason why I'm like, why do you care if they think they're stupid? If you look down on them and you think they're better than them. I grew up in a family where you respect each other, so I wouldn't disrespect my in-laws and I wouldn't take the disrespect either. Okay. People aren't being real. I've seen people get road rage over dumb stuff, but now you're claiming your in-laws calling you stupid wouldn't bother you. Me? People aren't being real. I've seen people get road rage over dumb stuff, but now you're claiming and your in-laws calling you stupid wouldn't bother you. You've seen me get road rage? I don't understand that correlation. I feel like road rage is a completely different thing. I don't get road rage either. I'm confused. Anyways, I think Family Chantal is better. I think Family Chantal think they're better than most anyone. They have a set rules in themselves and another for the rest of the world. I think that there's something about the Family Chantal that leads me to believe that their parents ascended and brought themselves to a certain social economic status, and they're very proud of that fact. And they wanted their daughter to be a cheerleader / model / home wife. They want to promote their son as a rapper, and then their other daughter is a model. And like, I think they just have very like hoity-toity, lofty ideas about themselves that to me don't match their demeanor. It doesn't match it to me. I feel like it's like Chantal being like,